For the second year running, NXT ended the year with an exciting event, Deadline. 5 men and 5 women were complete in the Iron Survivor Challenge to decide who would get a shot at the NXT Women's title at New Year's Eve. And yeah, there was a lot going on aside from that, including Ilya versus Corbin in our main event. So yeah, let's get straight into things with the kickoff show match. It was Nathan Frazier versus Axiom. Match was supposed to be on NXT before it was interrupted. Frazier had closed in the win, but he could not put Axiom away. The superhero caught Frazier with a top rope move, Spanish Fly into the Golden Ratio to win. Afterwards, the two shook hands. They were always good together. This was not their best match together, but still a solid showcase of two fantastic athletes. They too tried to tell a story of Frazier getting too cocky, but he did not sell it enough in his acting. It was mostly just felt like another fun athletic fight between friends where the loser got exasperation in the moments. If the fans failed to turn Frazier heel, this is the more story left to tell to sell it. They said Frazier uses the opportunity to freshen up his character, as currently yeah, it's just hard to know where he's going at the moment. But for this match alone, I really enjoyed it. For the quality, it was fantastic stuff. And yeah, brilliant match. I think there are multiple intriguing ways we could go in this on TV afterwards. But the main show started things off with Shawn Michaels, who opened the show to hype up Deadline, and CM Punk arrived. The best in the world possibly teased signing of NXT instead of Raw or SmackDown. It was short, but you know, seeing those two in an NXT ring was pretty surreal. And yeah, wearing the Bret Hart stuff, it was great stuff. And surprise, but a fantastic surprise to kick off the show. But we started things off with Dominic Mysterio versus Dragon Lee for the title. Dirty Dom was too focused on Ray at ringside throughout the match. Dragon Lee made him pay with a tilt-a-whirl DDT, winning the North American title. The match started slow, but got a bit faster as things picked up. Dirty Dom and Dragon still remain very good together. The chemistry was obvious in the contest that had the live crowd invested throughout. This is probably the end of Ex-Con Don's time in NXT as well, and he did well with that spotlight. It's likely that Wesley was supposed to beat Dirty Dom for the title, and WWE pivoted to Dragon. The Luchador should do well with the title, and hopefully he's ready to work both NXT and SmackDown for a while. Because yeah, I just don't want him just start going back to NXT again, because yeah, he really earned a call out to the main roster. So let's see where it goes. It's tentative at this point. I think, yeah, it's such a shame that Wesley couldn't win, but I think it's the right decision to take the title with Dom. He's had a great run. It'd be interesting to see the reaction on Raw, but yeah, also very pleased with Dragon Lee and intrigued to see where it goes. The Women's Iron Survivor Challenge was up next, and it was Blair Davenport and Fallon Henry opened the match, followed by Stratton, then Jordan, then Lash Legend last. While Legend stole 2 early falls and Stratton when she arrived, it was Davenport who managed 3 falls, 2 over Henry and 1 over Jordan to win it. The winner called out Lyra Valkyria, who was ready to face off in Davenport. Cora Jade arrived to attack the Valkyrie from behind and hold her championship high. Last year the women struggled with the Survivor Challenge, but this year it's definitely better. It helped that Henry and Stratton were at the heart of the action, selling their rival constantly. The action struggled a bit when those two were out of the ring. Legend was heavily protecting her 10, barely leaving her feet. Davenport and Jordan were solid, but not consistently in focus during the near falls. Davenport was the right one to swim here. She's the one with the momentum. And yeah, it'd be interesting with the likes of Lions around, especially when they were going to have a feud. Jade there as well. Where we're all going to go in it all. So yeah, that will definitely be intriguing to see where we all go. But yeah, it gets a 7 out of 10 for me. Very intriguing stuff. We then got Carmelo Hayes against Lexis King. With distractions about Hayes struggled to finally focus on taking down Lexis King. Finally, Melo found the conviction and planted with King with nothing but net to score the win. King taunted Melo afterwards and saying that he didn't attack Trick Williams but appreciated the pre-LA spotlight. This was overlong and oddly placed in the show. Despite Melo dominating last stretches, Hayes did a lot of heavy lifting in the match that felt more like a mid-show NXT TV match. The action was fine, but this kind of stuff never really got to full heat, if you know what I mean. King never truly looked like a real threat to Melo and lost in clean, decisive fashion. Despite this, NXT played King's music to end the segment as he revealed he didn't attack Trick, or so he says. It all came off awkward and a bit of a waste of time, and basically he was celebrating the loss. So yeah, I don't know, while the match was good, I don't know, it just didn't really feel too right, so I'm going to give it a 6 out. We then got the men's Iron Survivor match. Dijak and Josh Briggs opened, and Bate Leathers and then Trick, then Brom finished it off. After a physical battle, Trick had no falls in the last 2 minutes. He rolled up Briggs, Dijak and Bate for 3 falls before catching Brom Breaker with a running knee with seconds to spare to get the final fall and win. A dramatic end. Whoever put this match on was meticulous. It's obvious how much had been planned ahead of time. It was almost too choreographed, but the spots were great consistently. The action was chaotic, but never too hard to follow. The story of Trick rising up and get the win at the last minute was very well done. It's time to consider crowning Trick as a champion. He's so over, and yeah, by the end it was clear that the moment was his. Dijak was heavily protecting the finish, but Chill should be in title contention. Briggs looked like he belonged. Breaker and Baker very good throughout. I thought, yeah, on the whole, this was very much a triumph, 8 out of 10. Before it's time for Roxanne versus Kiana in a steel cage match. Kiana went for a steel chair while Roxanne Perez stole from her. Izzy Dane then blasted the Prodigy with a steel cage door, setting up James to hit the deal breaker for the victory. NXT took a chance on Perez and James, putting them in this match over the Iron Survivor Challenge and kept the NXT Women's Championship off the card. It did not quite pay off. Perez and James put together a solid match, but not one that kind of felt right for a PLA, especially given the finish. James' interference was heavily telegraphed and took away from these potential career-defining matches. These two women have been evenly scored throughout 2024, and the assumption is that James v Lyra needs to be built up. The Prodigy has done good work in NXT, but it kind of feels like time for her to make room to the main roster. If it does build James up, I don't know, I'm not against it. I'll give it a 7 out of 10 tentatively. Before it's time for Ilya versus Corbin for the title. Baron Corbin beat on the roots of Ilya, but the Mad Dragon would not take a break. He hit a high jackknife powerbomb, setting up the 3 H-bombs and the Torpedo Moscow for the win. Trick Williams came out to signal his intent, and yeah, it ended with Carmelo Hayes slowly creeping up behind us, definitely teasing us there. It was always going to be tough to work a solo main event style after the chaotic Survivor Challenge matches, but Dragunov and Corbin sold the physicality of their war in a distinct way to the rest of the card. Mad Dragon is one of the best in the world, and he makes every single match feel special. This was no difference. This may be Corbin's most complete match of his career, at least up there with the Hayes match. The Dragunov was never going to lose here, but the story of the match did need unpredictability to land. It was quite impactful as a men's Iron Survivors Challenge, but it told its story in its own way and sold its importance as the main event. So yeah, I'm going to give it 7 out of 10. Did it really stand out on the card? No, but at the same time, it was a fun match and gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Overall, NXT Deadline gets a 7 out of 10 from me. I thought, yeah, a really fun episode, premium live event here to close off 2023. The 2 Iron Survivor matches really delivered for me. There's a question on booking maybe throughout the show, but on the whole, it was a really fun show. The main event, enjoyable stuff too. And for me, pretty much the right reasons throughout the show, and of course, the CM Punk appearance was great. But anyway, guys, that's it for the video. Thanks so much for the likes, share, subscribe, and your daily wrestling news and subscribe to the channel, greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.